All right, so currently doing this on stream. If you're interested, link is in the description. I just finished playing the Demon Slayer game, and I have a few thoughts about it. As you can see from the title, I'm not super happy, but let me quickly mention what I do like about it first. Let me just get that out of the way. First of all, the fighting is pretty fun. There's not a lot of complaints I can really say about that. I do have some points that I want to talk about, but just overall, the fighting is pretty nice. The animation is top notch. There's absolutely nothing you can say about the animation. It's really, really, really good. Cutscenes, just gameplay, it's all really nice and fluid. The voice acting is also really good. Unless they ripped I'm sure they ripped some of the voices straight from the anime, but I also know for a fact that some of the lines are new. So I'm pretty happy that they got the voice actors there to record some new lines, and they were nice. So that's my experience with about the good stuff. Now about the bad stuff. This game can be so boring. It's not even funny. Some points of the game you play as Zenitsu, and okay, first of all, the game is sort of doing this thing where it's open world, but not really open world. It's like how like Kakarot tried to do that. Games like Call of Duty tried to do that. This game, however, just instead of making it a small map and giving you the feel that it's open world, it's kind of like playing a dungeon crawler, where you have like a very limited amount of area that you can go through, and only a few choices at that, like a few different paths that you can move through. So that in and of itself is kind of annoying. But some characters are so slow when they traverse. And in one of the parts of the game, Zenitsu was walking through the forest. If you know the scene I'm referring to. He's walking through a forest, and he gets jump scared by like 10 things, and each single one prompts an animation that lasts about 15 seconds at least. So that little part right there could have ended in like a minute. Like the walk is literally a minute long. Instead, it lasted like 7 minutes. What the fuck? What's the point of that? And then another thing, some of the parts of the game that are kind of cool, they either skip over or are completely, out of your hand. They're just cutscenes. For example, and spoilers for those who haven't watched the Mugen Train, Infinite Train, whatever you want to call it, movie. Tanjiro throws his sword at Akaza while he's running away. Now he throws it using the Hinokami mode, so that's pretty hype. You know what I'm saying? It's just a cutscene. You can't do anything. And then on the other hand, when you have to walk around and greet some NPCs that don't even talk to you and just make random grunts and noises at you, you have to play that. And you have to walk, not even run, while doing that. You have like 5 characters you have to greet, and that's a part where if they skipped, no one would have cared. No one would have cared. Another thing is, this game is so confusing in the sense that you don't know if they made this for fans of the series or for people trying to get into it. If you look at games like Naruto Ultimate Storm, it's obviously for fans. It's obviously for people who know what's happening, because there's not a lot of context at some parts of the story. You look at Kakarot, and you can tell that it's made for people who are trying to get into the show or into the series, but just haven't started it. You can play that game from start to finish and have about the same knowledge that I have of the game, that I have of the series, and I watched it and played it, obviously. So these two ideas are pretty clear. Then you have Demon Slayer. The actual cutscenes and everything makes it look like, it's for people who are trying to come in and learn about what this series is. There are certain flashbacks in the show or manga that in the game, they last maybe a second, 2 seconds at most. And there's no audio, no nothing. They just flash a bunch of pictures, and that's it. So you get no context. about why a flashback is happening. So I don't understand. Did they make this game for fans of the series, or did they make it for people who are trying to get into it? I don't know. They tried to do both. It didn't work out. When they stuck to one, it worked. You got Naruto, you got Dragon Ball. They worked. I don't know, man. I just need to rant. This game, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'd give it... I don't know. I don't know how much I'd give it. The thing is, I was so hyped for this game. I've been waiting for it since day one. I remember looking at the tweet that said that the new Demon Slayer game was in production by CyberConnect. I was so excited because I was fresh off of Kakarot, and that was such a good game. It's so good. I'm thinking of playing it on stream. Oh man. Yeah, maybe I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It could have been so much better if it had listened to some of the things that I'm talking about. If it had made the game, the pace was fine. It didn't have to be more fast paced. But why are some of the boring sections playable, and the other sections are not playable? Another thing, speaking of the playable sections, another thing. This is kind of it's not as important, but I thought I should mention it. The bosses are like interesting. First of all, you know that meme where you fight a boss and he's OP, and then you unlock him, and when you play as him, he's dog shit. This is real. At one point in the game, you play as Rengoku in the Mugen Train arc, and then during the end of the game, in this little like dream-like scenario, you fight him as Tanjiro, and first of all, he's got attacks that are incredibly overpowered. I could not do them when I played as him, and are completely unblockable. Now, when a boss fights you, sometimes he has to go through a series of attacks, and then he gets tired. I think that's called an aura attack in the game. Now, when that happens, you know that you can't fight the boss back because he doesn't flinch. So your best option is to stay away from him. So you would think that every single other instance in the fight, you're allowed to attack him, and he would flinch, and you would get away without taking any damage. Because there's no way you can get away from taking damage if you start getting hit. You can block, but you can't block while you're getting hit, unlike Kakarot. You can't do something like the substitution jutsu in Naruto. So once you start getting hit, you have to wait out the combo until the person finishes hitting you. And then if you attack the boss outside of the aura attack, a good 20% or maybe even 40% of the time, he's in another combo attack. Meaning, if you attack him, he doesn't flinch, and you get hit, and you get screwed. You screwed yourself because you attacked him during one of his animations. And there's no way for you to know that it's an animation or it's a pre-inputted attack that he does. Unless he's already attacked you with it, and then oh shit, that attack got me last time. I better stay away with it. But I better stay away from it. But guess what? It doesn't work because there's no other instance where you can attack him. You gotta attack him then, or you gotta wait for literally five fucking attacks that you can do without him attacking you back. I'd say the last thing I said I wanted to talk about the combat too. Obviously, I did talk about it now, but also the sort of the attacks or combos or skills or whatever you want to call them. You have with Tanjiro, I think the second form, which is the water wheel, which is pretty good because he moves forward for a couple of meters, and then you have the 8th form, the waterfall basin, which is good. It's sort of like an uppercut, but down. So that's a good attack. You can kind of chain them simultaneously behind each other, and it works. And then you have like the 6th form, which is also pretty good. That attack is actually like an uppercut. So all of these attacks work together. What about his other fucking 7 forms? Why are those not playable? Why can I not use them? Yes, I know they tried to do the thing like Naruto Ultimate Storm. No, they should have done it like Kakarot. It should have been where you are able to use all of your attacks. Okay, I understand that if you're playing online or playing offline or whatever versus another player, you can't just go in and out and changing your attacks. I understand that, which is why there should have been a combo system or a like a chain system, or I don't know what it's called, like Mortal Kombat, where you would input a specific command, and that would do a certain move. Because Tanjiro has 7 fucking moves that he can't utilize. Well, actually 6, because he can use his ultimate attack. 6 forms that he can't utilize that are really, really handy. Zenitsu obviously only knows 1 attack, so that part works fine. Same thing with Inosuke. He has like at least 5 attacks, and you can only do 3. Actually, you can only do 2. One of his attacks is called the Boar Rush that he does in the game. And it's not none of his forms. I know that some of the forms in the game, like Inosuke's first form or second form or whatever, it's a sensory skill. I understand that doesn't have to be in the game. But what about all of his other attack-based skills? You know? I don't know. I don't want to talk more about this game. Overall, I enjoyed it. I guess if I could go back, I would not buy the game. That's for sure. I don't regret buying it. I do regret buying it, but I did enjoy the process. I don't know how to explain it. But now that I finished the game, I can tell you that I'm probably not going to play it again. Yeah. I guess all that's going to save this month in gaming is fucking Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, which is coming in, 10 days? So yeah, I'll stream that when it comes out, and yeah, peace.